Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So I have a couple of updates to share with you regarding accused pedophiles and child sex traffickers, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. The first involves a lawsuit against the website Pornhub. Now, last week, I don't know if you guys heard this, but 34 women filed a lawsuit against Pornhub saying that they made millions of dollars, meaning the site made millions of dollars, off of videos that were uploaded to their site with these women in the videos without their knowledge or consent. And some of these videos were from when these women were children, which I'll explain. So some of these women were teenagers who were having sex with a boyfriend, and somehow, whether it was the boyfriend or somebody else, uploaded it to Pornhub. One woman had been drugged and then filmed by her now ex-husband. Gee, I wonder why they're divorced. He uploaded the video without her knowledge. And other women were, at the time of the videos when they were taken, they were children. Some were trafficking victims, and then some were just victimized by individual pedophiles. They weren't trafficked, but they were children, and these were pedophiles who took these videos and then uploaded them. So that's where this story connects to Epstein, because apparently one of the women who's named in this lawsuit, she's only named as Jane Doe 1, so we don't know who she is, but she was allegedly trafficked starting at the age of 7 years old. Guys, that's a first or second grader. And the first video of her was apparently, according to her, taken when she was only 10 years old. That's like a fourth or fifth grader. These people are just absolutely evil, sick fucks. That's the only way to put it. She says that she was trafficked for a total of 21 years. And according to her, there's at least 7 videos of her on Pornhub that were all filmed while under duress when she was a minor victim of these bastards. And according to Doe, she was trafficked in numerous states throughout the United States. And she says that she was, quote, forced to provide escort services and film pornographic videos and live streams. Now, Jane Doe 1 also alleges that she was abused by, quote, a ring of Hollywood men and New York financiers, including Jeffrey Epstein. She explained that in 2004, she was transported to Florida, and that's where she was introduced to Epstein and other men. And she says that Epstein then continued to sexually abuse her throughout her middle and high school years, and that he transported her to all of his various properties, not the New Mexico one, but she did mention the New York mansion, obviously Florida. He took her to his private island. Pornhub, as a response, has put out some completely BS statement about how they take these matters seriously. But, you know, some of these women have already tried to get the content removed. They reached out to Pornhub and said, hey, these videos are up there. I was a child. You need to get them down, or it was taken without my knowledge and consent. They got nowhere. So that's why they filed this lawsuit. So personally, I hope they're sued out of existence for allowing this to happen, for allowing the exploitation of children and making money off of this. This is so disgusting. It's so heinous. I cannot believe the shit that goes on. So the next Epstein update has to do with more allegations against not just Epstein, but also Maxwell. And these were completely swept under the rug once again. But this time, it wasn't here in the US, it was across the pond. So according to a British news outlet, more than 6 rape and sex trafficking allegations were made against Epstein and Maxwell, and they were completely ignored by the Metropolitan Police. Now, these alleged crimes took place over the course of more than a decade. And one news reporter said that there could be more. There's some indication that there's more than just these 6. And they say some victims provided detailed accounts of their assault. And even though there were formal complaints made, like these people went to the police, witnesses came forward to corroborate what they said, and interviews were conducted. They went that far, and then they just dismissed everything. It was just completely dismissed by the authorities. So the Metropolitan Police, for some reason, inexplicably, just chose not to conduct an investigation. And legal experts who have reviewed all of these claims and looked at documents and looked at what these women brought forth said there was more than enough supporting evidence to open an investigation. Yet, even as recent as 2015, the Metropolitan Police refused to open an investigation regarding a 2001 assault involving Epstein, Maxwell, and Prince Andrew. Apparently, a third party came forward, someone who wasn't involved in the matter, this wasn't a victim, and they issued a complaint with the police about the exploitation of vulnerable young women. Totally ignored. Then in 2019, the same year that Epstein was arrested here in the US, by the way, the Metropolitan Police decided to review their previous decision. So they went back, looked at the cases, looked at everything that they had gathered and the complaints that were issued and filed, and they stood by it. They said, nope, no action needed. We agree. Totally fine. No investigation required. So even when victims went directly to the authorities, they were completely blown off. There was one woman in 2016, she was an alleged victim, she's from the UK, and she spoke directly with the Metropolitan Police. She even had an attorney representing her. And they begged the authorities to investigate Epstein and Maxwell. But again, nothing. Nope. No, we're just going to ignore it. So when reporters broke this story, they reached out to ask why. They contacted the Metropolitan Police, completely ignored as well. Police just blew them off, didn't even bother to respond. They did, however, issue a completely BS statement. So it was very long. I'm not going to read you the whole thing. But part of what they wrote was, quote, "The MPS always takes allegations of sexual offenses and exploitation seriously." Really? No, clearly you don't. You lying, complicit pricks. You obviously don't. And their statement went on to say, essentially, not our problem. Yeah, sounds like a you problem. They said that because Epstein is a US national, it wasn't their job to investigate or take action. Seriously? So if a US person, a US citizen, goes over and murders someone in London, that's it. We just wash our hands of the whole thing. Not our problem. These are freaking children we're talking about. And they were just failed on every level by everyone. And get this, the news outlet reached out to some of the witnesses involved in these allegations because they got all the documentation. So they knew who these people were. They tracked them down and they talked to them about their experience. Not a single one of these witnesses had been contacted by the UK police, let alone deposed to see if there was anything to these allegations. So they didn't even take it that far. Unless someone came and got in their face and talked to them about these allegations and about this sexual assault, they did nothing. They lifted not a single finger. Now, of course, Everyone is suspicious about what, if any, role Prince Andrew may have played in quashing these investigations. I mean, he's been accused of having sex with at least Virginia Roberts Giuffre, right? When she claims that when she was still a child, she was still underage, he had sex with her multiple times. So now that this story broke, Scotland Yard has promised to review these allegations. And remember, Maxwell has a trial coming up. So yeah, we could use that information over here in the US. Her trial is due to start in like 5 months here in the United States. I don't believe that Scotland Yard is going to do a damn thing. I don't believe that the Metropolitan Police are going to lift a finger still. The royal family has such an iron grip on everyone over there. They're not going to allow an investigation that might lead to information or more information about Prince Andrew. And then they've got their online trolls trying to discredit anyone who speaks out. They have their pundits on their trolls on the news. Recently, there's a show called GB News, Great Britain News. Lady Colin Campbell, who's a royal loyalist, she's written books about them, she totally tried to deflect using Bill Clinton. She said, and I want to get her quote right, so I'm going to read it to you guys. She said, quote, "Let's remember that President Bill Clinton, who is a far bigger name and a far heavier hitter on the world stage than Prince Andrew, was a far greater friend of Epstein's and for far longer than Prince Andrew. Just to put things in proportion, the New York Attorney General has been going after Prince Andrew because they are effectively political appointees in America. It's not like here where an attorney general is a legal entity. In there, it's not. And they're playing politics. And Prince Andrew is to a large extent a distraction so that Bill Clinton will actually be kept out of the frame." Oh my freaking God. This woman knows nothing. She obviously is a freaking moron. I don't give a damn about Clinton, and if he's guilty, he should be locked up for the rest of his miserable life. And I believe he's shown consciousness of guilt because he's flat out lied about being on Epstein's islands. There are multiple witnesses to the fact that he was on Epstein's island, and he has denied being there. So that's very suspicious. But so far, not one person has come forward with a direct accusation against Clinton. At least not yet. There's been not one victim to step forward. So we have to be clear on that. On the other hand, yeah, Prince Andrew has been accused of statutory rape involving Epstein. So has Donald Trump, by the way. I've talked about it on this show before. So if this was purely political, if they were just trying to distract away from Bill Clinton, then why have they not brought up Trump? Why aren't they hauling Trump in for a deposition in this Epstein trial? I mean, let's hope that they have, or maybe it's on their to-do list, because I personally spoke with the attorney who was representing the woman who had accused Trump in 2016. I spoke with her in person at a vegan event that we both attended. And the only reason, the one and only reason they dropped that case was because MAGA supporters sent her so many death threats that she was terrified. So, you know, Lady Colin Campbell, with all due respect, shut the fuck up, you wretched shrew. You know nothing. You absolutely know nothing, and you are shilling for the royal family. Just shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're so obviously trying to protect them. All of these sick bastards who prey upon children need to go to prison. They need to rot in hell for all eternity. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Clinton. I don't care if it's Prince Andrew. I don't care who it is. If you have violated a child, you go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Bury them under the prison for all I care. But seriously, if Prince Andrew had nothing to hide, why is he so afraid of sitting for a deposition? Why has he refused to come to the United States to sit for a deposition? Just shut up, lady. Seriously, go back on your reality TV show or wherever the hell it is you came from. Obviously, you're more suited for that. You don't know what the hell you're talking about with American politics. So, sorry, guys, that's my rant for the day because these people just piss me off. I'm sorry. If you're going to try to protect an accused pedophile, you're filth. That's just a fact. So I'll keep you guys posted as more comes up. But yeah, just horrific allegations. And we need to know what went on there because it will help with the cases, or with the case, I should say, here against Ghislaine Maxwell. So Metropolitan Police, let's get with it. Let's stop protecting our wealthy friends who you know took part in all of this. All right, guys, I'll talk with you soon. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Please subscribe. Please like, share. Thank you so much. I'll talk with you soon. Take care.